All right, guys. I'm doing another backyard update for you. Pretty soon compared to the last one. A couple of things I got to show you here. Some that are good. Some things that really weren't planned out too well. Okay, and I'll explain. First things first. You'll notice I'm starting from the other side this time. There's a reason for that. First thing they did was they built up more of the wall here by the steps. Okay, you can see that they just put on these cinder blocks today. This will be some kind of railing to go along with here. I think by code this has to be here just because of the steps, but it looks good like that. It looks more finished. And we will have some lights on top of here and things like that. The water feature, which will be here, you can see they kind of clean that up a little bit. And, oh, actually, they did put the border bricks on here. And they finished this area off last time. I don't think it was like that, so you get to see that. You can see over there, there's some more of the border bricks here. And yeah, so they clean that out nicely, built up the wall here for the steps, so that looks good. And oh yeah, I said they had to fix the leveling last time, and they did fix that. You can see right there, looks better than it did, so they did a good job there. And did you see this end last time? I can't remember, but anyway, I'll show it to you. I really border bricks, bluestone on the end. Looks really good. Actually, what you did not see last time were the steps all finished. Here they are. So where the siding was missing, they put brick there below the door. And actually, the top of the steps is just going to be all bluestone, none of these bricks. I like that a lot more, actually. It's the gray bluestone with the bricks goes very well. It's a very good color, and it's really nice to see those steps finally finished. Because if you remember, for the longest time, it was just a bunch of cinder blocks and concrete. But that came out really well, and I just love how the border bricks go along with it. And just like I said about that one time, nice corners, no curves. Very happy about that. That step looks really, really good. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the areas that aren't too good right now. They will be fixed, but let me show you. You see all this? You remember what that looked like last time, right? Well, apparently I was wrong when it came to some of the gas line installations. So they ran the thing through here like you saw, but apparently they still had to take up the stones that were already down here to run the gas line across. Now, the reason why I'm not too happy about that is because I am sure that they'll put these down just fine. That did happen one other instance, and they did put it back just fine. You couldn't even tell. But, you know, this is something that my grandfather on my mom's side was in construction, and he would say, you're supposed to run all the gas lines first before you put the stones over. Well, for some reason, the guy who's the head of this, I'm not going to mention any names, he says they don't do it that way. That doesn't really make much sense, okay? Now, I just want to note here, the gas lines and the water lines are done by the plumbers. This is not their fault. It has nothing to do with them. But the way they planned these sections just really wasn't too good. I mean, you should run all your lines before you put stones down, even if they're not cemented. It's just common sense. You know what I'm saying? So now they had to take all this up. You can see, with all the dirt and everything on these bags. Then they had to run the thing through. You can see that pressure gauge is only temporary. It's for the inspector when that comes through. So they had to run it across here, over here, and then to the fire pit. So, like I said, it just, the way some of these people think just doesn't make any sense. And, Jay, the funny thing is, you and I were even talking about this, and I had thought that everything was down that was supposed to be down before they built this thing up, and I guess I was wrong. So, my mom's kind of annoyed about that, and rightfully so. She should be, because you should put this stuff down first before the stones. Back on Long Island, when they were building the patio back in '95 and '96, they ran all the gas lines and water lines before they put the patio down. I mean, it only makes sense, right? But whatever, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, or whatever the correct term is. He has set these back down before, and you couldn't even tell what was done. So, but still, this is something that just could have been avoided. But this isn't the worst part, okay? We have to run the electrical for the hot tub, right? Okay, so same thing's going to happen. The electrical panel is going to go over there somewhere, which is fine. But of course, they have to run it through somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to get done somehow. I'm not even going to bother guessing. But, I mean, come on. Again, you're supposed to do this stuff but before you put this stuff down. Even though these are removable, like I said, they're not cemented down. They are removable, but it's like you put these down, then you got to put them back up, and then you got to go back down again. I lift things up and put them down. Yeah, remember that commercial? But, you know, just not very smart planning, really. It'll get done, but this is just, you know, an extra step that was unnecessary. But okay, you get the point there. Let's have a look at the steps going to the sunroom. Also finished too. Those look fantastic. Again, all bluestone on top, brick underneath the door. And yeah, this just this came out really good. I mean, these steps are definitely so far the best part of the patio. These steps I have no complaints about. They were done very well. They did everything correctly. Absolute fantastic job on the steps. Very happy about that. Okay, let's go over to the cabana. Again, you remember how this was last time, right? All the patio stones were down, but because we ran the plumbing and the gas line, which again is not the fault of the plumbers, it's the patio people. Okay, even the patio guy and the electrician told him, you shouldn't have put the stones down before we did this work. And he's right, they shouldn't have, because again, you put all that stuff down, you gotta take it back up. But I stress on that enough, okay? So let's go have a look and see what we got here. Okay, so this is going to be the gas line, the main gas line for the cabana in the corner here, okay? And this right here is the piping that you saw from the basement yesterday. And we're going to take a look in the basement too again after I'm done with this outside here, okay? So here's the hot and the cold. It's from inside, from the inside, hot's on the left, and cold is on the right, just like it should be. Here's the main drain pipe. And let me see if I can... Yeah, that yellow line is the gas line, okay? And then there's the drain pipe that you saw from yesterday. It goes down... This is the Charlotte pipe this time. It goes downhill nicely from here, okay? And down into the basement, like you can see. Another pressure gauge for the gas line. There's the new 3/4 inch gas line. Where the piping comes out of the foundation wall. It was foam sealed and hydraulic cemented, so it should be all good to go in case it ever rains or anything. And you see that pipe right there? That's actually the drain pipe for that drain pipe right there. You can see how it kind of follows along now. A little something to remember. And I did take pictures of these just for, like, you know, remember in the future or something. And the electrical is still going to be there. So now you got a basic idea of where the stuff in the cabana is going to be. Yeah, sink over there and gas line over there, okay? So you get an idea. And we will have to install a vent for the drain pipe, obviously, like the Long Island house has. We're probably going to do it the same way, I think. We're going to, you know, tap into the drain pipe. Then we're going to bring the vent along over there behind the back wall and up through the roof. So, you know, that way it won't be seen. And like I said, the plumbing guys did a fantastic job. And... you know, I'll be honest, the patio overall has been done very well, don't get me wrong. But again, there's just these extra things that they could have avoided if they just did this stuff first, you know? And that's the only problem I have. And okay, but now before I get too far off topic, you can see that stone wall is pretty well done. We'll walk over to that and take a look for you. All right. So that looks pretty good. I'm not quite sure what the top is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be bluestone or something else. And yeah, the border bricks were down here last time too, so I guess they overlooked something or whatever, you know. And here's what one of the here it is unfinished, the bare center blocks, and here's what it should look like when it's all finished. So that came out pretty good. I will give them that. And these steps have been done too. I didn't show those last time. Well, that's because they didn't exist. So, okay. So, here's the back is still bare. That'll eventually be done. Here's the steps leading down to the grassy, what will be the grassy area. Like I said, overall the steps are done very well. Okay, let's see. And just here's a shot of everything from this side right here. Okay, and like I said, yeah, steps. I showed you the steps, showed you that. Okay, the gas line, everything here. Okay, so you know what? Let's head back down to the basement again, and I'll show you the plumbing work now pretty much all finished. Okay, and this should all be a pretty familiar sight to you. So, not going to go over quite as much here since you saw a lot of it in the last video, but you can see now that they have the spigots and the shutoff valves on the hot and cold water lines. And in fact, those valves actually did fit next to each other, so they're both in line, which I think is really cool. Okay, and over here, you can see that they since put the insulation back in. But you can see over here is where they tapped into the lines. And as a matter of fact, I can't get it on video, but I did take a picture of it before they put the insulation on, so you could see how they tapped into the washer lines. So have a look at that. Okay, you can see how they put all those together, so that's good. Yes, let's have a look over here. You can see they hydraulic cemented this end of the stuff too. It came out really well. You know, it's good as it can. But yeah, here's the drain pipe. Here's the hot and cold lines. Unfortunately, they couldn't make them straighter because of the way the holes were, and they put the stuff together. But whatever, it does fine. Here's the spigots that are here for the winterization when it comes time to do that. And yeah, there's the two shutoff valves. Like I said, I really like how they actually fit right next to each other. That looks pretty good. Okay, and let's see. I'll get to the gas valve manifold last. You can see he did add the extra pipe hanger, so that's all nice and together now. And the only change they did here was they just added a cleanout plug to it. So they've just put one right here with it facing on top, and I guess they're using it for testing. I guess maybe just make sure the water flows or something when they do that. When the inspector's here, that's going to be sometime next week, I think. And yeah, it's all this. So yes, on the gas valve manifold, I had mentioned that they were going to put an extra valve in. So it went a little bit differently than I thought it was going to, but the way it works out is pretty good. So this used to be the basement furnace, as you can tell, but now this gas line has become the one for the cabana. You can see the shutoff valve right there, and a 3/4 inch gas line going up there, and then it comes out right there. You see the black gas line right there? That's where the port is on the outside of the house. So what he did was he took off he detached some things here, put this T fitting on, put in the new valve for the cabana, and just moved the basement furnace valve right over here. And it works fine because this is actually more straight than it used to be, so it's definitely arranged better than it was before, which I really like. So now you can see where he changed the labeling on the foundation wall. So this is the cabana gas line now, and the basement furnace was moved over to here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 valves on there, which is pretty good. And now in the future, I told you my folks are planning on getting a standby generator, which is going to be natural gas. So there could very well be a 9th valve on here at some point. I don't know when exactly, but keep in mind that can happen in the future. And yeah, everything was all run together here as well, as you can see. So again, when it comes to the plumbers, they knew exactly what they were doing. The guy made these as straight up and down as can be, put all the valves in line. When people pay attention to little details like that, like especially putting all the text on the front of the pipe so you could see it, I really like it when people pay attention to stuff like that. It's really great. So yeah, this area looks more involved now, I guess you can say. You know, there's the supply lines again and drain pipe. All right, and there you go. So I kind of tied in the plumbing update to the backyard update video, and there you have it. So for the most part, as you saw from the stuff outside, good progress, and I like how the plumbing work was done. So things are coming along as usual, and looks good. So thank you very much for watching, and take care.